Sharon, thanks for joining me. So, how do clearly defined investment beliefs help trustees navigate the evolving responsible investment landscape?
I have to tell you, the investment beliefs process at the CalSTRS board took us years.
Right.
Um, and I think what's so critical about investment beliefs is it becomes your North Star as a team. So when the investment committee is wrestling through some of the risks in sustainable investment space, it's just our North Star. And so most recently, we added one specifically on climate.
Hmm.
And again, we wrestled as a board on kind of how to word it and how to think about it. But I think it was really important for us at CalSTRS to be intentional. And I think investment beliefs, if anyone were to read our investment beliefs, they could really get a sense of this is what CalSTRS values in terms of our investment strategy, and that comes from the board and also the investment committee. So it brings clarity and focus on how and where we invest, and as a board member, I like that.
Yeah, and I can imagine for the corporates you also then work with, they have that expectation and that perspective from the outset.
That's right, and then we can go back and say, actually, that isn't consistent with one of our investment beliefs. So we have things, I'm finding writing things down and having them in your policy is quite helpful to be
Yeah,
able
I
to
can
kind of
imagine.
hold partners accountable to making sure our values are aligned.
Very good. And what makes pension funds and other institutional investors strongly positioned to lead the charge in aligning long-term returns with long-term sustainability?
I love this. I love talking about long-termism because, I mean, as you know, our stock market and our companies are run on quarterly returns, and there's daily news about what's happening in the stock market. And I think for me, as an educator myself, it's helpful to talk to California teachers and say, hey, looking back at like 2008 and looking
Yeah.
at some dips in the economy and saying, we're here for the long haul. We think 5, 10, 20, 30 years down the road. So we're not just looking at CalSTRS returns every year, we're actually looking at it over a period of time. And I think the fact that CalSTRS has achieved over at 7% over 20 years, it
Yeah.
gives teachers that sense of, okay, the stock market goes up and down, but at the end of the day, over the long run, we're meeting our goal. I
Yeah.
also think it's a signal to our partners that we're slow and steady. We might not be as exciting as Wall Street, but we're consistent over time, and I think that gives our members and beneficiaries a lot of security, and that's what we want to provide them, is a secure retirement.
Yeah. It's that belief that compound interest being the eighth wonder of the world really pays, right?
Let me tell you, it's a beautiful thing, and we have teachers, women educators in California live quite long lives. So we have over 400 teachers that are over 100 years old, and they've
Wow.
retired in their 60s. So you can do the math and know
Yeah.
how long we're paying out those pension checks, which we're happy to do.
Yeah.
And so having that long-term perspective is just consistent with our membership and the demographics of
Yeah.
our membership, and making sure that they have secure retirements for decades and decades after they retire. So long-termism is just a big part of our culture and who we are, because it's the beneficiaries we serve.
Thank you.
Yeah.